Joe Rogan has demanded that Mike Tyson cancel his fight with Jake Paul. Nevertheless, Jake has been granted the chance to face another seasoned heavyweight fighter after his fight with Mike Tyson. Kevin McBride has declared that he is willing to take on Jake Paul following Mike Tyson in the event that Paul emerges victorious. He said, "I hope Jake Paul would give me the opportunity to fight him so he'd have the chance to be the last man to beat Tyson and McBride. I'd jump in there with him."
Like, that's crazy.
If Tyson dies, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, if you have something like that, if you have, look, if
That'd
this,
be the end of the
right.
Yeah, that'd be an
Let's-
experiment.
Let's imagine it in a different way, right? Let's not imagine that Mike Tyson is fighting Jake Paul. Let's imagine Mike Tyson is fighting some young, like really powerful knockout
then
artist who's
we
a
wouldn't.
contender.
Paul is unlikely to accept any offer from McBride since Tyson has had a lot of medical issues, and a fight with Tyson in 2006, when Iron Mike was far from at his best, would have provided Paul with a greater cash opportunity. It's likely that over time, his physical state has gotten worse. Many have chastised Paul for picking Tyson, and doctors are worried about Tyson's health in the event that he loses. After initially finding it challenging to handle Tyson's extreme aggression, McBride has counseled the influencer to notify the referee if the vicious puncher appears set to breach the rules. He gave the influencer instructions to hold his hands up, watch that he doesn't spit out his mouthpiece, and let Jake Paul know that something might happen, so Jake Paul should make sure Mike doesn't do that. The man Mike Tyson is terrifying. Paul is getting ready to look into new boxing chances in order to pursue his bold long-term ambition of becoming a world champion in the following year. It has also been mentioned that profitable matchups with opponents like Tommy Fury and KSI McBride are possible. Being a fighter—
I personally think it's really good. I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you've qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys.
or a YouTuber requires a lot of guts, and even in his 50s, Tyson still requires courage to step into the ring. Tyson is no joke, even though the rules of the fight are meant to make it less brutal, and many boxers criticize Paul for showing what they perceive to be disdain by supporting BJ. Iron's former instructor Flores, who made a comeback on YouTube, asserts that the showdown Mike claimed that Jake wasn't looking for him and that he wanted to fight. Mike wanted to make the fight more than simply a show, and Jake liked Mike and thought it was an important event. Additionally, Mike requested that the fight be noted on each man's record. It was supported by
But I
both.
think, let's say we divided this crowd in half, and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else that's
Because
involved.
some
in
of
the
them might
industry.
stay not just for that match. They
Yeah.
might get into the sport.
And it's a tough game, so everyone viewing helps. So I think it's really good for people that need like some.
Netflix and AT&T Stadium. Many people will find it exciting to watch, but Jake is sort of in a lose-lose situation since you don't want to beat Mike and you know he's still deadly if you do. Paul is in a no-win situation coming into the bout, according to the former world title candidate. Either he loses or he surprises everyone in the boxing world by stopping a legend. Of course, different people have different perspectives on it, but they aren't the ones in the ring. Furthermore, the bout between Tyson and Paul has been rescheduled for August 18 at Fanatics Fest in New York City. Paul took advantage of the chance to face Mike Perry, a former UFC fighter, in July. He won by technical knockout in the 6th round, improving his record to an impressive 11-0. Paul turned pro.
Mr. Paul and Mr. Tyson, which one do you think is going to win?
The only thing I'm worried about is Father Time. That's one thing that has never been beat. And Tyson's he's older now, but I pray that he comes out healthy. But I think Jake Paul because of youth. That's the only thing, because of the youth.
After this important victory over Perry, Paul shared his opinions about the next showdown with. Paul continued, "It's going to be a nightmare for Mike Tyson, but it's a dream come true for me to be fighting the biggest, baddest boxer ever after eating Mike Perry as an appetizer." Tyson said he was ready for the main course on Friday, November 15. Tyson also shared his thoughts on Fanatics Fest and delivered a positive health update. It's fantastic to be featured at Fanatics Fest with some of the biggest personalities in sports, and I look forward to giving a show the fans won't soon forget. I'm excited to take on Jake Paul at Fanatics Fest in New York City. The countdown has resumed, and I'm excited to defeat Jake Paul on Friday, November 15.
Paul could be that guy if we didn't think of him as Jake Paul. If you look at the people he knocks dead, when he knocked dead Tyron Woodley with one punch, that dude
I was
can
there.
fucking crack.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like that's what I'm saying. Exactly what you're saying. We don't want to give him credit because it's Jake Paul.
Exactly.
But we gotta wake up and realize that he's still 27, young, and for the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he's had the
training
best
consistently.
coaches working with him.
At NT Stadium in Texas, which will be on Netflix when Tyson and Paul square off. With his extensive expertise and remarkable accomplishments, including a remarkable 50-6 record and multiple world heavyweight titles, Tyson will surely have the advantage. Tyson's record speaks for itself, but Paul, who has only fought 11 times and is over 30 years younger at 27, has a much shorter but more recent boxing history, with all of his matches taking place in the last 4 years. This is significant because most of Paul's prior opponents have been less well-known boxers or former mixed martial artists. Meanwhile, Tyson is expected to be the most tough opponent he has encountered thus far. Tyson Fury has offered his prediction for the much-awaited fight between Mike Tyson and Jake when their paths finally cross in the ring.
90% of the power, 70% of the physical ability, and 90% of the power. Because the power's not gone. You see it when he hits a bag.
Yeah, he's
You
still
see-
got the power.
The power's there, 100%. But he's had a bunch of back issues. He had real bad
he was
sciatica.
having the problems walking and
He's
stuff.
walking
I saw
with a
him with a
cane.
cane. Yeah.
So, but who knows what they've done?
Paul Fury is confident that Tyson will both amaze the world and teach the troubled kid a few things. In a video, the Gypsy King said, "Listen, if Mike Tyson hits anybody, I don't care if he's 90, he's going to knock them out cold. Isn't he? Obviously, I have to back Mike Tyson. I take after the legendary boxer, and I will support him as he consistently does. I'm supporting Mike, and Mike has been targeted by the knockout since Tyson's previous fight with Jones Jr. While Paul has been actively competing in the ring, Iron Mike is dealing with a major health issue that limits his speech and movement. Paul's most recent match took place in July when he prevailed against former UFC fighter Mike Perry. Supporters first became concerned in 2022.
I'm sure he's with the right people. Like, even at 57, you can make a lot of money if Mike Tyson's fit and in shape, which is so crazy to say. It's just weird that we're even talking about it.
100%.
That the fucking guy from Disney is going to fight Mike Tyson. The
When they
YouTube.
saw him at Miami International Airport using a wheelchair. Later, they saw him in New York using a walking stick, which the NHS subsequently connected to sciatica. Sciatica is a disorder where the sciatic nerve, which runs from the lower back through the hips and down to the feet, becomes inflamed or compressed. Those who have it may experience tingling, numbness, or weakness, mostly in the buttocks, back of the leg, foot, and toes. If the condition is not treated, the pain may worsen to the point.
Supposed to be my first fight in the UFC.
Remy Bonjowski.
Remy
Bonjowski.
Oh, he's not used to that.
Yeah, he got head kicked.
He said that's all right.
Well, Remy Bonjowski was amazing.
Yeah, he
man.
was.
And he fought. Had such an interesting style.
Crazy knees.
Yeah. Hey, man, we just lost Rob Kamen. Rob Kamen
That
just
sucks.
died.
That really
That
sucks.
was hard.
Nice guy.
I worked out with that guy a lot. I trained with that guy for like
shit.
eight
How's
week
that?
period. It was amazing. He was awesome.
Those Dutch guys are cool, man.
Yeah,
He's the coolest. He was the
It's like
coolest.
Boss. He's super
I did
cool.
a joint seminar with him in Canada one time. He's just a cool guy.
Nice.
Just
That
a
was
cool
it.
guy.
Head kick.
Yeah,
Ray
one
Burch
kick
was like,
ended it.
check, please.
Thank you, I'm done.
I don't enjoy that. Franz Botha,
I
he
didn't
did
sign
well
up
in
for this.
kickboxing. Remember?
Yeah,
Franz
he
Botha fought
did.
Wayne
He
Burch.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he figured out how to do it a little bit and started fucking people
Yeah.
up.
It significantly interferes with day-to-day activities. Sensations frequently get worse at night or even with little movement. During an American Airlines flight from Miami to Los Angeles in May, Iron Mike confirmed the news about his condition in a 2022 interview with Newsmax. He said, "I have sciatica every now and then, and when it flares up, I can't even talk. Thank God it's the only health problem I have. I'm splendid now. Everybody in my house is truly blessed, and we're all very grateful for whatever we have." The official statement stated that thankfully Mr. Tyson is doing great. He became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. He is appreciative of the medical staff that were there to help him in response to the delay. Paul expressed his deep admiration, saying he loves and holds immense respect for the former. Tyson had a medical scare mid-flight. Upon landing at LAX, he started to feel queasy and lightheaded. The news that the undisputed world heavyweight champion is clearly terrible. I'm devastated, stunned, and devastated. Everyone in this camp has been working so hard, and I feel awful for everyone involved in this event, including the undercard. After it was announced that Tyson had to withdraw, Paul posted on Instagram. He continued, "This opportunity has been ripped from all of us, but I do value Mike's health. Fans are concerned because Mike is still talking hit over there and continues to insist that he will knock him out, so he has bought himself some time." Mike Tyson has released fresh NIS Badarian training footage. Although Tyson had resumed his strength and conditioning exercises, Paul's manager had stated last month that the legendary boxer had not yet returned to the boxing ring. However, Tyson has suddenly made a reappearance, releasing a video of himself viciously crushing the music pads. When the news of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul's fight first broke, it was met with widespread criticism from both modern boxers and legendary figures in the sport. Critics quickly drew attention to the stark age difference between the two fighters and expressed concerns about Tyson's health as he prepared to box iron. A former boxing champion has taken aim at Tyson's upcoming match, calling it a calculated move designed to stir up drama and questioning Tyson's place in the ring. In order to be ready for his next fight, Mike has returned to the gym and is beginning a demanding 3-month training camp. However, former boxing champion Carl Froch says Mike shouldn't even consider entering the ring at all. "I believe Mike Tyson is too old to be in the ring. This was demonstrated when he was carried off the plane with a bad back. It's a professional fight meant to stir up more controversy." Many people who have criticized Jake Paul's boxing career have said that his only beef with the problem child is that he can't really fight. He also added that he has a huge weight advantage over most of the guys he fights. This is an unfair advantage because he's that much heavier than his opponent. After his victory over Perry, the YouTuber who turned boxer threw a punch at UFC champion Alex Potin Pereira. But Dana White quickly dismissed the challenge, saying that Jake Paul is no longer a significant threat in the boxing community when it comes to his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul is already planning his next moves and has asked for his hit list during a recent appearance on the Fulson podcast. The fighter exudes unwavering confidence about the fight and has already laid out his strategy for the next 5 matches. Paul answered, "Alex Pereira, Conor McGregor, Canelo Alvarez, KSI, Tommy Fury, Conor McGregor."